What is going on, guys? Snickel here, and today I have another trophy talk for you. This is for the week of May 5th, 2019, and it's been not too crazy of a week. You know, I feel like I say this all the time. I definitely say this every week about it's not too crazy. I haven't done anything too crazy. I mean, I did pass a milestone this week, but I'm not one to really brag about milestones and, you know, stuff like that. I mean, I know I make videos about my platinum trophies, but that's more just to inform people about what the game is about and kind of give you guys like a live update on what I've or what I'm platinuming, other than what's going on here with this video. So anyway, it's again, it's not been too crazy of a week, but let's get into it. So earlier in the week, I did finish up the DLC in Assassin's Creed Odyssey. That would be the first episode of the Fate of Atlantis. I gotta say, like, the episode itself it feels a little dry. And the reason I say that is because it feels like a lot of the filler quests and side quests from the base game. It just feels like you're running here and there and you're kind of doing everyone's busy work and you're not really progressing anywhere with a plot, really. The only reason that you're doing all this stuff is so that people can help you for the final fight. Like, it really doesn't make sense. I don't really want to spoil anything, but like, it kind of doesn't make sense because like you go there and you're like saying you're helping someone, but at the same time, you're not helping them. You're trying to take them down from power. And then you get other people that say that they're helping that person, but they're not really helping that person. But then at the end of the episode, they actually are helping that person. So it's like, there's so many things that I think is wrong with it. And like, it's kind of cliche. But at the same time, it makes you think like, how stupid do they actually think we are about like going behind people's backs and stuff like that. I was kind of more or less disappointed with the first episode. Let me just leave it at that. More or less disappointed. But I did finish it up. The last trophy I needed was that trophy at the bottom, the Conqueror, and that kind of sucked. I thought that I had done that the first time that I played through, but apparently I didn't. The trophy says that you have to win the conquest of Elysium with freed humans from the 3 main regions, and I freed humans from the 3 main regions, but apparently you had to free 8 humans from the 3 main regions. You had to do the one side quest. So, I mean, that would have been pretty cool if they kind of said, like, complete this before doing that. But, you know, to their own, I guess. The only thing I'm really waiting for in this game, which has kind of been pissing me off, is the additional feats. They've put 2 in that we know about, that being the one really, really bad day, which is to complete the one really, really bad day. And then every story has an ending quest, and they still have one upcoming, so you know, whatever. I was talking about how this game, I thought that this game was gonna, you know, get close to 100 trophies or go over 100 trophies. Yeah, I don't think it's going to. I guarantee the episode of Fate of Atlantis is going to have 2 more expansion packs. They're each going to have, you know, 5 trophies each, so that's another 10 trophies. So we're looking at like 94. Am I upset? Not really. You know, I know I kept saying like, oh, I really like this game. I like going back to it. I like the map. I do like the base game map. I like the, you know, naval combat to an extent. The normal combat is okay, but it's a little tedious. But I have to say that this first episode, I did not like the map. I did not like the features that they offered. And I kind of felt like it handicapped you a little bit just because of the enemies that you fought. So yeah, it's just my personal opinion. I don't want to talk too much on it. But anyway, I finished that. That's that. And I mean, I guess I can't be any happier to just get it done. Who knows when the next 2 episodes come out? They probably put something out that says like, oh, they're going to come out in June or whatever. To be fair, I don't really care. I'll play them when they come out. But at the end of the day, it's going to be what it's going to be. I do want to get that 100% done, like, as soon as the DLCs come out, just so I can be done with the game. But we'll have to wait and see. And talking on Assassin's Creed, I do want to go back and replay all of the remasters and stuff that they have on the PlayStation 4, you know, the Ezio trilogy and 3 and Liberation and really everything else. But what I'm kind of waiting for, which I don't know if it's ever going to happen, but what I'm waiting for to go back and play those is I really want an AC1 remaster. And I know a lot of people are asking for it. So if they give an AC1 remaster, I will literally go back AC1 and just play all the way back through the franchise all over again. But that's kind of what I'm waiting for. If it doesn't come out within the next few years, then I'll probably just go back and do the Ezio trilogy and all the other games whenever I have some free time, because it is my goal to do every single Assassin's Creed game, even the stacks. So, but I'm really waiting for that AC1 remaster. But we'll just have to wait and see if it happens. I mean, like I said, I doubt it's going to happen, but there's always some possibilities, man. You gotta stay positive. Anyway, up next, Drive Club. This is the game that I've by far been putting the most time into this week. Really, during the week, I haven't been playing too much, but when I was playing over the weekend and everything, Drive Club was something that I was putting a lot of time into, and as you can see by the percentage, I'm basically done it for the most part. I got through everything in the base game other than 2 trophies. Probably going to save this one for my last trophy in the game, and then credit where it's due, I can talk about that. But yeah, I got through all of the DLCs, and surprisingly, they weren't as bad as people were making them out to be. I know that there was a few events, like there was some like Hennessy or event or something. I don't remember, whatever the car was, I think it's the Hennessy, right? I can't think too straight right now. But anyway, there was conversation about how that event, that time trial was really bad, and then I heard that the AMG DLC was supposed to be bad. I didn't run into any problems with it, so I don't know. Now, going back up to the base game, like I said, the last 2 trophies I have, this one's pretty easy. I could get that, in the snap of my fingers, but I'm kind of waiting to do that for my last trophy. But there's credit where it's due to reach level 6 with one of each accolade, basically, that they mention. So the reason that I haven't earned this yet is just because it requires a little bit of grinding. So the level 6 gameplay accolade I've got, I'm close to. The event accolade level 6 I got, you'll get level 10 just playing everything basically. So the ones that I'm missing are the game mode and the vehicle. And the reason that I'm waiting is because I'm doing Drive Club Bikes, which I was going to talk about after this, but I'm doing Drive Club Bikes, and Drive Club Bikes uses events in the base game and it counts towards it. So essentially I can be working towards the game mode level 6. So I don't want to like grind game mode to level 6 when I can be working on it and in a whole nother game. So I'm going to work towards the game mode, and then I'll probably have to grind the vehicle level 1 just a little bit, probably like a few hours, maybe, if that. So that's really what I'm looking forward to there. But my plan is, next game up, Drive Club Bikes, is to get through Drive Club Bikes and kind of finish this up as soon as possible. And then after that is to get into Drive Club VR. Basically just get all the Drive Club franchise done. I did get Drive Club VR, so probably going to finish this up and then work through Drive Club VR. And the DLC, I'm basically done. I have to do one more DLC, which is the MV Augusta one. And then all I have to do is do these time trials, which are pretty easy. And I'm probably going to put videos out for them. And then there's a time trial for the base game. So most of the stuff is pretty easy, pretty self-explanatory, just playing through the game. And then you're going to have to grind for level 12 on all bikes, or level 15 on all 12 bikes, which kind of sucks, but I don't think it'll be too bad, because some of the bikes you're just going to get to level 15 just by playing through the story, because you'll probably just use the same bike over and over again for the most part. But yeah, that's that. So Drive Club and Drive Club Bikes, those are really the 2 games that I'm playing in my free time right now, because I want to get them done. I mean, I know that the servers don't go down until like March of 2020, but I kind of just want to get them done and over with for the most part, because there's something that I wanted to do for quite a while. I mean, I bought Drive Club day 1, and I'm kind of glad I didn't play it too much day 1, because they had no DLC, but they still had the level 6 accolade trophy. They still had all the base game trophies, obviously. So level 6, level 50, you had to do all that stuff to get the platinum. So it would have been kind of useless to grind to get the platinum and then all 21 DLCs come out. So kind of glad I waited off on it, but I do want to get all the Drive Club games done, just to get them done. And it's something that I've wanted to do for a while anyway. So, it's going to be what it's going to be. Then up next, and I guess lastly this week, the last game that I played was Call of Duty Ghosts. So I'm not sure if I've talked about this before. So let me take a step back, actually. We as a group, there's a few of us, the squad, whatever you want to call us. We kind of have been talking about doing Call of Duty for a while. It started with Advanced Warfare, but then it kind of just turned into doing all the Call of Duties on the PS4. And mainly it's coming down to just doing the DLCs, not like doing the hardcore mode in Black Ops 3 or, anything in the base game other than some stuff that we might have to do. It's kind of just been like hey, we're going to work on the DLC, and some of the base game stuff like zombies or survival or extinction related we'll do. But other than that, you got to do everything on your own, which is, I'm completely fine with that. So we started up Call of Duty Ghosts on, I think, Saturday, and we started working through basically extinction on the base game because we had to. I was already like level, 18 or something. Carlos was already level, I don't even know, 25. But we started playing with Captain and Kent, and they were both level 1. So we had to basically get them leveled up so they could have the equipment that they need for the DLCs to make it easier. But at the same time, there were a few extinction trophies that we had to go for in the base game. So that's what we were working towards. So essentially, we were just escaping, and then we were going for the completionist trophy, which is to do all the challenges and escape. There's 2 more extinction trophies that I need to get, and I'll get them at some point. But it just comes down to just waiting, doing them on my own. Like trash picker, I'll have to do that on my own. That's not too bad, but I will do that on my own. It'll be easier to do on my own. And then throttled escape. I have to prestige. I'm like level 28 right now, maybe. So I'm very close to prestiging, but I have to prestige, and then I don't know if we'll play back through this or if it counts on DLCs, because there is some DLC where you have to escape with 2 relics, so you have to prestige twice, which that's a little crazy. But yeah, like you have to escape this one with a relic active on hardcore mode. That's gonna be a little interesting. But yeah. The main goal was to play through the base game right now, get people kind of leveled up, and then we're going to dive into the DLC and just try to get it done as fast and efficiently as possible. Like, I don't think this is something that we're going to be playing every single night. Maybe like 2-3 times during the week, and then, a few times over the weekend, maybe like Saturday night and Sunday during the day. I don't know. I don't want playing this to turn into like boosting games too much, because I don't really count this as boosting, because we're playing and we're having fun and we're going for trophies at the same time, but it's not really sitting there and killing your alt 5,000 times with a headshot over and over again. There's a little bit of a difference here, and there's some substance to what we're playing, and it's not just as people would call like grinding or useless playing, if you wanted to call it that. So this is somewhat of a game to an extent. So, but we're going to be doing all the Call of Duties on the PS4 at least. So we're basically going to do them in order, I think, for the most part. So it's going to go Ghosts first, and then AW. And then I don't know if we'll do. I'm going to assume that we'll do the zombie stuff and DLC stuff for Black Ops 3. That would be my assumption. And then IW, and then World War II, and then Black Ops 4 is kind of off the table right now because we want to get everything else done first. Black Ops 4 is going to kind of wait until like maybe a year or two, probably, when like Battle Royale, all those trophies are kind of easier to get and easier to boost. But I would assume that that's the goal. And then the other goal is to just really get these all done by, I think the end of the year was the goal. I mean, that averages out to like getting a game done every 2 months, which I don't think is too awful, because we could probably get a DLC done a week. And most of Call of Duties have 4 to 5 DLCs. So it's not awful, but it is, it's definitely going to be a lot. It's not going to be easy. It's going to be a lot. But I mean, it's definitely doable. I mean, I remember Carlos and I did MW3 in the span of maybe 2-3 days, all the DLC and everything. So it's not awful. I definitely think we can do it. The hardest part was definitely just getting up to the level so you can have the equipment that you need. The other thing that's going to take a little bit of time is just getting to know the map, getting to know spawns of weapons and stuff of that sort. And then once we have the equipment, I mean, it's going to be easy peasy. Like, it's going to be smooth sailing at that part. It's just getting the equipment that was going to be hard. So what I wanted to touch on actually before I started this whole thing was Call of Duty as a whole. So it's going to be this is going to be something that is going to surprise a lot of people. And I say this all the time to people, and they kind of somewhat don't believe me, and then they question me, and then they go and check for themselves, and they say, wow, that's true. So I have never in my life platinumed a Call of Duty game. Very surprising. I know. It's hard to believe. It's hard to believe. I've never platinumed a Call of Duty game. Not even MW2. What am I doing? How have I not done that? Part of it comes down to the way that I personally like to play games. And I don't know if I've ever discussed this on one of these videos before or on stream, or if people have heard it, but the way I like to play games, there's two ways I like to play games. One of the ways I like to play games is I like to play them chronologically from the time that they came out. So in this instance, when it comes down to Call of Duty, like, I would want to play COD Classic, and then probably I would play like COD 4 Remastered, and then I'd play Black Ops, and then I'd play MW2, and then I would play what came out? Oh no, sorry. What am I saying? I would play COD 4, then I'd play World at War, then I'd play MW2, then I'd play Black Ops, then I'd play MW3, then I'd do Black Ops 2, so on and so forth, right? So that's part of the way that I do it, is I like to play it chronologically from the time that they came out. Another way that I like to play games, which this is completely, I don't really do this too often. I've only really done this on maybe one or two franchises, but I like to play them chronologically to the time period. So in this instance, you would play like you play like COD World at War, and then World War II, and then like, so on and so forth, right? And then Black Ops. So you would play them chronologically to the actual time period that they were played in. But I don't think I'm going to do it that way. I think I'm going to do them just the way they came out. And I've been trying, kind of trying to kind of stop that, right? Because I like to kind of platinum them in order that they came out. I mean, it's kind of like autistic for me to say, like, kind of stupid, right? It sounds kind of stupid to be like, oh, I want to do it in the order they came out. But then I've done games where I haven't done that, where I've just platinumed whatever, whenever. So I think that's what I'm going to kind of go back to, is just, platinuming it whenever. Like, if I'm able to get done the Spec Ops and MW2, then I'll just platinum it and get it over with. But it's like, it would be like kind of tidying stuff up. Like, I wouldn't start a game like brand new and be like, I'm going to do like, if the new Call of Duty, I think it was announced that it's going to be MW4. I'm not going to like hop in there and be like, hey, MW4, going to get that platinum day one. So, you know what I mean? Like, I would wait. Cause like MW3, I've done all the DLC and all of the survival stuff. So I literally just have to play through the story and I can get that platinum, but I'm not going to do that until I do like other games. So, I mean, that's just the way that I kind of do my games. I kind of do them in the chronological order that they were released. That's like the way that I try to stick to them. But, it's just going to be what it's going to be. It's kind of like a series that I'm thinking about right now is like the Dirt franchise. Like, even though I can't do Dirt 2, I did Dirt 3, and then I did Dirt Showdown, and then I did Dirt Rally. And now I'm going to do Dirt 4 and Dirt Rally 2.0. But like, I wouldn't be like, hey, I'm going to go do Dirt Rally 2.0 and then go do Dirt 4. Like, I would do Dirt 4 first and then Dirt Rally 2.0. So it's like, it's just kind of the way that my mind is wired. It's a little weird, I guess, but I don't know if other people are like that. Another topic that I want to touch on, which I've been kind of somewhat joking with people about this, but at the same time, I've been kind of serious. I mean, I'm not going to lie, I've been kind of serious. So people that have gone through my list, I have apparently 18,000 going on 19,000 views on PSN profiles. I'm going to guarantee like 10,000 of them are probably myself, just like looking at my profile and refreshing it. Not going to lie. It's probably like 10,000. But anyway, I'm sure you guys have looked through my list and you've probably seen like all the games, all the unobtainable games that I have on my list. Just games, most of them are sports games where it's just like, yeah, you're kind of effed yourself because you can't get that platinum anymore. And I was thinking about this the other day, right? Because I know all you guys know that I do multiplayer. And I try to do the multiplayer first in games. And there's a lot of games where I can't do this anymore because multiplayer ain't up. And I have the trophy, I have the games on my list. So I was like, yo, why don't I try to start this trend of like, well, it wouldn't really be a trend, right? But like, why don't I try to normalize to an extent, like putting not maybe putting unobtainable games on your list, but like finishing unobtainable games to the highest extent that you can do them, getting every trophy except the online trophy. Because like, you know, I'm not someone who cares about completion percentage. You know, it's nice to see my completion percentage go up. It's nice to see rankings go up. It's nice to see your numbers increase. Don't get me wrong. It's something nice, but it's something that I'm not going to lose sleep over. If my completion percentage tanked to 40%, I probably wouldn't give two shits. I mean, as long as I'm playing games that I enjoy, I really could care less. But a game that I'm talking, or that I bring up about this, like doing everything but the online, is Madden 10. So back in 2012, I had Madden 10 on my list, right? And back in 2012, I decided to play Madden 10, and maybe I didn't play it before. But back in 2012, I decided to play Madden 10, and I was like, I want to play Madden 10 and try to, get the platinum. But as I'm playing, I realized, I don't know if during the time that I was playing this, the servers were down, or if I could have got these trophies, because back in 2012, I didn't really care too much about online. Let's be honest. There's a lot of games on my list in 2011, 2012, 2013 probably that I put on my list, and I didn't do the online because I didn't care. And most of them are sports games, and it's just whatever. You know, I can't do anything at the end of the day. It's going to be what it's going to be. But what you'll notice is, for this list, I literally did everything but the online, besides the DLC, which it would be a big meme if I did the DLC, these 4 trophies, and then didn't do the online. But anyway, I basically did everything but the online. And I was thinking about it, and I'm just like, you know, it would be nice to have all the games on your list, but like, if you can't get the online, then kind of like whatever to an extent. But I don't know. Like, I'm torn between it, right? Because part of me is just like, I own the game, so why not put it on my list? But at the same time, I'm kind of like, you know, I kind of get that little bit of like, I don't want to put it on my list if I can't get the platinum. But then at the same time, like, I don't care about my completion percentage. So like, what the hell does it matter? Like, if I'm going to put an unobtainable on my list, then whatever. And then the other aspect is like just doing games that I have on my list that are already unobtainable. Like, if we go all the way down to the bottom of my list, like, you'll see down here, I have NCAA football 12 on my list. Now you're probably wondering, well, why do you have that, Snickel? Well, part of that was, well, not part of it, 100% of it was, my friend came over and bought that game day one, and he came over and played it on my PS3 when we hung out one day. And it was on my list. And back then I didn't care about trophy hunting. And back then I wasn't going to buy a brand new NCAA game, so I didn't care. But there's a bunch of other games that I have on my list where like I could do basically everything but the online. MX versus ATV Reflex. Like, I can go through Tiger Woods PGA Tour 10, Tiger Woods PGA Tour 13. Like, there's so many games that I can do and just like get most of it done except for the online, because there's probably plenty of stuff in these games like that I can do and get it up to like 90%. All right. At the end of the day, number wise, having a 11% trophy list or having a 90% trophy list, the 90% is going to help my completion percentage. It's going to help anyone's completion percentage. Am I ever going to have a 100% account? No, but I could care fucking less about that, right? But as long as I can get everything done that I can get done, and if I obviously don't have control of the online, then it's going to be what it's going to be, right? And again, I'm not saying like add stuff to your list that to make it unobtainable, right? I mean, go ahead if you want to. I'm not going to stop you. I've been thinking about doing it myself, about just like, you know, if I have Madden 10 on my list, right? Do everything I can in Madden 10. And then Madden 11 doesn't have online, so I can platinum it. Madden 12, I luckily did the online for before the servers went down. The only other Madden that I don't have on my list that I can't do is Madden 13. But the thing about Madden 13 is there's a lot of grinding in the single player to do a lot of that stuff. So it's like, then is it worth it, right? So I think what it comes down to me, for me personally, right? I'm not going to worry about doing that unless I have absolutely no games to play, which if you guys know me and you know my game collection, is never going to happen. So maybe one day it'll be like a thing where I'm like, hey, I have nothing to play. I really want to play a Madden game. I really want to play a basketball game. I'll go do this. Maybe one day, but probably not anytime soon. But I'm just saying, like, if you guys have accounts that have unobtainables on them, this is just like a little idea that I've been thinking of. And, you know, I know last week, or I don't know if it was last week or the week before, I know that I kind of was harping on like people who make 100% accounts, and like it's not worth losing everything that you have to have a perfect account, because at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. Like, a perfect account doesn't really matter. And the only person I can give props to for a perfect account, just because of the sheer numbers that they have, is Mr. Unknown. And recently he's been going through a whole phase of like, is it even worth doing everything that I'm doing, really? And you know, personally, I go through the same thoughts sometimes. It's just like, is it worth not really trophy hunting, but like, is it worth me playing games all the time? Or is it worth me playing all these shit games? Or, you know, you really just have those thoughts. But back again, I'm going off topic. Back to the 100% thing. Like, if you have an account like mine where you have, you know, dozens of unobtainables on the list, at some point, maybe it would be worth going back and playing some of those unobtainables to earn as many trophies as possible to up the completion percentage, and just not have a bunch of those like low percentage. Because you got to think about it. A lot of those games that you have unobtainable, you probably have them sitting there at like less than 10% completion. And if you can bump it up to like a 70 or 80% completion, it's going to help your completion percentage if you really care about it that much. And I know I keep saying, well, I don't care about my completion percentage, but this will help it. You know, I don't care about it. But like I said, it does kind of make you feel good a little bit on the inside when you see the numbers rising and you see your completion percentage going up. And, you know, as I've been playing Drive Club and Drive Club Bikes and just games that are already on my list, and I see my completion percentage go up, it makes me think like, am I doing something right? Because there's a lot of games, trust me, there's a lot of games on my list where it's like, I would love to just get it done, and then it would up my completion percentage. And that's another thing that I've been thinking about recently. You know I went on this whole tangent of like stopping doing big multiplayer boosts, and I'm sticking with it. I mean, I don't really want to do big multiplayer boost. I talked to Carlos a little bit. He's in the same thought process that I am. He made a list of games on his list that he wants to do that have somewhat bigger boosts, and most of them are on the PS3, and I agreed with him. I mean, some of them I have on my list, some of them I don't have on my list, but I would like to do them. But I think, you know, my main goal is going to be to go back to the way that I used to trophy hunt, which is to do the single player, and then while I'm doing the single player, simultaneously try to do the multiplayer if I can, instead of like doing basically front loading all these games, doing all the multiplayer for them, and then finishing the single player at some other time. I think I want to go back to the way I used to trophy hunt once I finish up all these games that I've already done the multiplayer for. Because I have like probably 100 games that I've done the multiplayer for where I just play the single player and I'll get the platinum. And obviously there'll be some games that I'll add to my list and do the multiplayer for if it's something that, you know, either someone asks me to do or we kind of plan it or something like that. You know, I'm not going to say no if there's people that want to do it, right? But I don't want to really focus my time around it. Like I've said it plenty of times. I don't want to like come home and have to think like, hey, what am I doing tonight? Hey, this weekend, what are we boosting? Like, I don't want to think that anymore. Like to an extent, like I feel like gaming and trophy hunting for me has become more of not really a job, but that's what it kind of feels like at times, other than like a hobby. Like, it's not just something where it's like in my free time, I'll play this. Like when I come home from work, during the weekdays, most of the times I come home and I might play a game right when I get home for a little bit, but for the most parts, I come home and I'll relax for like a half an hour or so. Just sit down and just like decompress and just completely like kind of relax myself. and then I'll eat, and then after I eat, I'll go work out, and then I'll, play games after that. But it just feels like, kind of like on a schedule of like, oh, I need to eat now. I need to eat as fast as possible. I need to work out as fast as possible so I can get upstairs and do this. Like, it doesn't feel like a hobby or something that I'm doing in my free time. Like, I'm kind of structuring everything else around it and trying to do everything else as fast as possible so that I can go do that. You know what I mean? And that's exactly how, if you've ever worked a job, that's exactly how working a job is. You got to wake up every day. You got to go in at the same time. You got to leave at the same time. You got, I can't do anything that day, guys, because I'm working. And that's what it can feel like at times. And again, there's not really anything wrong with it to an extent, but it does like kind of annoy me a little bit because, like I said, I want to do this more for like leisure than making it feel like a job. And I'm sure that's why everyone, you want to play games for fun. You don't want to play games and you don't want games to feel like a job. I mean, I know a lot of people that do YouTube. A lot of people that do YouTube like full time as a job will say that they hate gaming because they feel like they're on a schedule for everything. And it's like, I'm sorry to break it to you, my dude, but YouTube is your job, and that is how a job is. You're on time crunches. You have to get stuff done. If you don't get stuff done, you got to work the overtime. And it just sucks that you lose the enjoyment for what you want or for what you once loved or you like doing, and it feels like a job. I mean, that does kind of suck. And if I was to do YouTube full time as like a job, like I don't know what would happen because, I'm not a person who likes to rush things, right? Like when a game comes out, if a brand new game comes out, for the most part, I'm really not going to play it day one. There's a few games that I will play day one, and that I'll enjoy, right? But for the most part, when I buy a game day one, I don't really play it day one. I'll play it a few weeks down the line. I know what you're thinking. Well, why do you buy day one? It's just because if I don't buy it day one and I wait a few weeks, then I just think like, of never buying it. So it's kind of just like the thing of like, just buy it day one and have it and then, whatever. But, yeah, like when it comes down, for me, I don't like to rush it. Like I want to enjoy the game. And when you have people like Power PYX or PS4 Trophies or these people that are putting all these shit easy game guides out, they probably, well, I know for a fact Brian, because he's voiced it multiple times, they definitely are on a time crunch to get it done as fast as possible. So they can't even enjoy the game because they know that they have to get it out by this time when the embargo drops so that they can get their video out first so that they can be the number one in the search results. They're basically fighting for the views at the end of the day. So they're doing it as fast as possible. Like to me, it's nice. Like it would be nice to do that. And like you'd be the number one search result for everything. But to be fair, like I don't really care about that too much. Like, when I make guides, like I'm just making guides for whatever I'm playing at the time. And if you want to play that too, then, so be it. And that's kind of what I've thought about when I've done guides is like, I kind of want to like, I don't know the best way to say it. I kind of want to help people if they're having troubles picking a game or playing a game, if they see that I'm uploading guides or collectible guides on a game, maybe that'll help them decide what to play more or less. I mean, I don't know if that's like the best way to word it, but that's kind of like what I was thinking. Or like when I make a platinum video, if I don't make a guides for a game, but I make a platinum video and I'm talking about the game and then someone might be like, hey, that sounds kind of fun. Maybe I'll play it, So that's kind of like what I'm going with my stuff. Like it's nice to get everything out like day one, like rush it out and get it out as fast as possible because you'll get more views. But like, I don't really care about that too much. And I guess part of that is because I don't do it as a job. So I'm not really forcing myself to rush through stuff and get stuff done. But it's going to be what it's going to be. And to be fair, people like Brian and Power PYX, part of me doesn't even consider them trophy hunters anymore. Because they're not, I mean, yes, they're collecting trophies, don't get me wrong, but they're only doing it for certain games. For new games, they're only doing it for views, more or less. Like, if you think about it, right? If you think about this, and I don't know anyone that's read Brian's Twitter because he's gone on rants about this before, but basically on his Twitter, he's ranted about how he doesn't enjoy gaming because he's forced to blow through stuff and he doesn't enjoy it. Basically, essentially what I was just talking about. And part of me was thinking, imagine if he didn't have to upload trophy guides. Do you think that he would even trophy hunt anymore? Like, that's one of the things that irritates me the most, because, like, truly deep down inside, if he didn't have to upload guides for content to make money, I don't even think he would be a trophy hunter. I don't even think he would hunt trophies. And that is kind of unfortunate. I don't know about Power PYX because he doesn't talk. And, you know, he made some comments about Americans, so I ain't a big fan of him. He kind of pissed me off. No, but I don't know if he would be in the same boat, you know. But, like, when it comes down to me, like, obviously I'm not doing it for the views on YouTube, because if I was, then I would be doing the same thing they are. Get it out, get it out, get it out, get it out as fast as possible. I'm just playing what I want to play and doing what I want to do. And that kind of comes down to, like, the games that I play at the end of the day. I know I'm ranting about stuff that isn't even related to my trophy list, but, you know, a little sidetrack. You know, I know people are requesting, they really want these this 1 hour video, and there's only one way to get to 1 hour. I don't know if this is going to get to 1 hour, but there's only one way to get there. So, but that's how I feel about just gaming in general and getting guides out and playing the games that I'm playing. It's not really decided on anything other than what I feel like doing. And I've said this before when I'm playing games, because I get this question all the time. How do you play so many games? How are you able to focus on so many games at once? And what it comes down to is I just have a rotation of games, and I kind of just stick to that rotation, or a group of games, and I just play that group of games. And I'll play them, and when I finish one of those games in that group of games, then I pull it out and I put another one in there, and then I keep that in the group of games. And there's games right now where, like, I play them sometimes, but not other times. And there's games where, like, I just play them on stream. And there's games right now that are kind of lingering. Like, as I go down my list here, like, there's a few lingering games that I can talk about. So, let's see. Let's take a look. Let's take a look through the list. So a few lingering games that I want to get done. I don't even know how far down to go. So Call of Duty World at War. We'll just start here. Call of Duty, well, actually, goddamn, I could go down farther. No. So Tomb Raider. Tomb Raider is a game where I did the online, but I still need to level up to do a few things to get the level 60 or whatever to get all the items. So I still have to, like, grind that game. So it's technically not done. Call of Duty World at War, I still have to do some of the DLC stuff, but it's easier to do on my own. So, you know, that's still up in the air. Uncharted 2, still have to do most of the DLC. Transformers, no, I did the online for that. MotoGP 09, 10, and 10, 11. I still have to do a few races online. I've actually been thinking about doing these two games recently just to get the online done, and possibly just getting these platinums and kind of working through the MotoGP franchise, because I would start with this one. But, like, I did the big trophy, but I still have to do the rest of the online. So I still have to, there's still stuff that I have to do there. It's still lingering. I still have to do stuff online related. Chaotic, still have to do online. That's a big freaking meme. Band Hero, I did the online, some of the online. I have to do some other online and finish up the base game. I kind of, like, played through the story, but I didn't do everything. So I still have to go back and do that. That's on a game, or that's on a list of games that I want to finish pretty recently. Or upcoming, not recently. BioShock 2, that's a game that I boosted like 2 times, and I need to get back to it. I think we're going to do that over the summer. For Honor, I'm waiting for double XP weekend for For Honor to finish that. WWE, this is a game that I played years ago, started to play it on stream like a month or 2 ago, and I kind of didn't go back to it yet. I really need to. Same thing with Leisure Suit Larry. I played that on stream one time and didn't really go back to it. The U-Draw games, I should just finish them. I mean, these are like all lingering games. Like, I started that to play it one night. Why? What was I thinking? Borderlands, that's another game where, like, I've done the online, I've done the Mad Moxie DLC, I beat the whole story. I just have to do some cleanup stuff in the other DLCs, and I'm done. And it's on a list of games that I want to do upcoming. NBA Live 18, I've done the online, I've done the what am I talking about? I've done the online and I've done the ultimate team. I literally just have to play through the story and do some random trophies and I'll be done. I just have to get this story hype or whatever the hell it is right here. Level 100 in League and Streets. Luckily, if the servers go down for this, then I can still get the platinum, but I would like to get that done sooner rather than later. But that's a game that requires like 50 hours of playing that I don't know if I really have that much in me. Game of Thrones, another game that I started on stream and I really would like to go back to. Grand Tour, a game that I was keeping up to on every week, but I kind of didn't do the most recent DLC and I haven't gone back to grinding out all the races. Price is Right Decades. Didn't even want to play this if you want me to be completely honest, but Cats wanted to do the onlines and I had it, so I was like, well, I might as well. Still have to do some online for that. NBA Live 19. This is a game that I'm probably going to put a decent amount of time into within the next month or so, just because we found out an easy way to do the online. I mean, I've technically done the live events, which those are probably going to be the unobtainable things soon enough. The other thing that I have to do, which we're going to work on over the next few months that I was talking about, was the live run. That's online, so I have to do that. And then I would like to get the Ultimate Team done. And then other than that, the rest of this stuff is offline. So, I mean, I would feel better about myself, but, you know, it's going to be what it's going to be. Golf Club 2, I guess I could talk about that game. Star Wars Battlefront 2, I talked about that last week. We're actually going to be playing this. There's a double XP weekend coming up at the end of May. We're going to try to finish up the rest of the XP, and then maybe I'll play and try to get that platinum done since I did the first one. So, you know, we'll just have to wait and see. My stand for my microphone is all coming loose. And then obviously, you know, these are what I'm playing now, and then Ghost. So, but what I'm trying to get at is there's a lot of games where I kind of had them in the rotation and I pulled them out and I didn't finish them. So they're kind of just lingering there. Obviously games like Conan, where I could literally do it in 40 minutes. Like I should just get it done with, right? But the only reason I did it was to do the one like co-op trophy where you have to kill someone by standing on their head. So, you know, I did that. But part of what I want to do in the next upcoming month is work through a lot of games that I've done the online for and then go back to a few of these games that I've left lingering. And I have a list of games that I want to do somewhat of an order, but we'll see if I actually follow that and what I end up doing, because it's quite a long list, to say the least. And like I said, I kind of just want to be somewhat done with online to an extent. Like obviously there's always going to be online trophies. I'm always going to have to do online, but I want to be done with it to an extent. One thing I was going to say about Golf Club 2. So this is another question I've been getting, is why is Golf Club 2 rarity so low? And it comes down to this one trophy right here. Millionaire. Earn a net worth of $1 million. Now, I'm going to break something down for you guys, for you people watching and listening or listening. I'd hope you're listening. This trophy right here is pretty stupid. Let's be honest. I don't know if you guys know how long it takes to get to $1 million, but playing approximately for an hour, you can get around, I think it was $2,500. So in order to get to $1 million, you would have to play for approximately 400 hours at 2,500 coins an hour, right? So I know what you're thinking. Well, that is crazy. Why would you even think about doing that? Yeah, it is crazy. But the cool thing about this game is you can make clubs, and within those clubs online, you can donate money to these clubs. And then you can hold events for these clubs, and then you can give the earnings to people. So what we would do if there's enough people, there's 3 of us right now. What we could do is the more people we get, the less money you have to make. So let's say we have 10 people going for this platinum. That means we all have to get $100,000, which is only like 40 hours of playing rather than 400 hours of playing. We would all get $100,000. We would put it in to the club, and then we would do an event, and one person would take the $1 million. And then they would put it all back in, and then the next person would take the $1 million, and we'd put it all back in, and the next person would take the $1 million. And that's how it would work. And what we can do is we can set the club to close so that no one can join but certain people. So anyone that's interested in golf club, or you want like a very rare platinum, if you want to join, you can join the Discord server. There's a link in the description below, and then we can all just work towards this and possibly try to get it done. Like I said, we have 3 people right now, so we're already cutting the time in thirds. So instead of 400 hours, we're at like 100 and something. But still, if the more people we have, the faster it will go and the easier it will be. And then if you know people that have money, they can easily just transfer it, or they can give it to our club, and then, so on and so forth. So that's the nice thing. But anyway, that's my little pitch for Golf Club 2. If you about it, let me know. But I don't think I really have anything else to talk about. I don't know if I talked about what I'm going to be playing in the upcoming week, but the upcoming week I'm going to be playing mostly probably Drive Club Bikes, trying to get that to the finish line as fast as possible. No pun intended there. And then possibly starting Drive Club VR. I mean, we'll just have to wait and see. And then obviously another game that I'm going to be playing this week is Call of Duty Ghosts, trying to do as much of that as possible whenever everyone is free. Like I said, it's not really a boosting game. It's kind of more on us. So, it's going to be what it's going to be. And then Odyssey, whenever the DLCs come out, I'm going to be playing them. So I don't know when they come out. They could release an additional feat tomorrow for all I know. Who knows? They could release one today. I don't know. And then when it comes to streaming, I don't know exactly what I want to stream. I know I've said I don't really want to stream racing games because it's kind of hard to interact with the chat when I'm doing a racing game. So I think I might stream some more Sekiro or some Game of Thrones, or maybe some of these other games that I did, like WWE or Leisure Suit Larry. I don't know. I can ask. Another thing is, like, I can do like easy games. Like a few weeks ago, people asked me to do bricks. I can easily do a bunch of easy games. I've got access to a bunch now, so I can easily do them. But it's what I plan on playing in the upcoming week. Again, in my free time, it's mainly going to be Drive Club Bikes, and then we'll see where it goes from there. Actually, what I can do, I kind of made a list on Twitch of games that I want to play. Hopefully I'm not hosting anyone. So down here, you'll see like my upcoming, these were my upcoming platinums that I wanted to do. So it was Sekiro, which I might just play that in my free time, while I'm doing Drive Club. I don't know. Sekiro, Game of Thrones, that'll probably be like more streaming. Getting Band Hero done, Far Cry Classic, Dirt 4, Red Dead 2, Borderlands, and then SOCOM 4 is a game that I've wanted to do for a while. And then Gran Turismo 5. It's just, with so many games, I've realized this, with so many games, and this is just totally a first world problem. With so many games, it's so difficult to pick what to play sometimes, because at one point I want to play this, and then another point I want to play this, and I want to get stuff done, but I want to start stuff that I've had for a while, and it can be so difficult to pick stuff to play. But like I said, I think my main goal is going to be to work through games that I've done the multiplayer for, and just work through them in the order that I've done the multiplayer. So like, or the order that the games have come out. So like, if I've done all the multiplayer for the Killzone games, then I'll do Killzone 2 and Killzone 3, and then I probably won't do Shadowfall right now. But like for instance, like the NASCAR games, like I've done all the multiplayer for all the NASCARs except NASCAR Heat 3. So I would start from the beginning and work down, and I probably wouldn't play them back to back to back because I would go crazy, but you get the point. Or like the MotoGP games, like I kind of just want to, pick where I started doing multiplayer, which I think I started like down here. I don't even know, but pick somewhere and then just like kind of work my way through the franchise and then see where it goes. Because like I said, I want to start finishing games. I don't mind adding games to my list, but I definitely would like to start finishing stuff before adding other stuff, but we'll just have to wait and see. I guess the last thing that I want to make a note of, I know I said it earlier in the video that I passed a milestone, and I haven't mentioned it yet, but I did pass 10,000 trophies this week. So that's a pretty cool feat. Like I said, I'm not really one for milestones or anything, so like I really don't care. The only time I really cared about milestones was down here. I was playing for my 8,000th trophy. I got the God of War Platinum. I kind of planned that out a little bit, but usually I don't plan stuff out like that. I just get whatever I'm going to get and call it a day. So yeah, I ain't really one to deal with milestones. But yeah, I did pass 10,000 trophies if you're into that cool stuff. So I don't know what the next big milestone will be. I don't know if it'll be 150 platinums, 1,000 gold trophies. I don't know. I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. But like I said, I'm not one for milestones, so I wasn't super crazy about it. But anyway, I hope you guys did enjoy the video. If you did, be sure to leave a like down in the comments below. Let me know what you guys have been playing, what you're looking forward to playing, what you've been up to, just what you've been doing overall. Down in the description below, you'll find links to all types of stuff. My Twitter, my Twitch, all my platinum trophies that I've earned over the past few years. You'll find some other links to like this profile that we're looking at right here. If you want to go check it out for yourself and, you know, bump my views up a little bit, would appreciate that. But yeah, there's links to all types of stuff down in the description below. So if you want to go check any of that stuff out, I would greatly appreciate it. Anyway, like I said, I hope you guys did enjoy the video. If you did, be sure to leave a like. If you've made it this far and you haven't subscribed, consider subscribing for more trophy content like this, and I hope to see you all around sometime soon.